Hi guys, and welcome to today's Bitcoin USD breakdown. Of course, we are on the 1 hour chart, and if you remember yesterday, I backed myself in for this trade roughly around these parameters here, because we come up for a big bullish move. We started to mess around, and then I believed we would also come back up. Now, yes, we were rejecting off this line pretty heavily just here, and this pivot point. But you could also see that we were rejecting off this line right here. Now, I did actually hop into the market. I did actually lose 1%. So over the 2 months that this, channel's been going from me trading, we are now sitting on 37%. Even though before we were sitting obviously on 38%. So, guys, as I've always said, you can't always win every single trade. It seems that Bitcoin is trying to really frustrate me at this point in time. But let's see if we can get anything over this weekend. So what happened? We completely broke through this line right here. And now we are slowly hanging around here. So where's a good re-entry? What would I be looking for? Well, honestly, again, I would like something to either retest this line quite perfectly, or even retest this area up here. Why is that? Because if we are going to continue to go down, again, there's a lot of imbalance that's sitting right here. So that would be lovely for a re-entry, because I don't know from this, there's nothing here that's telling me. In fact, what we can see is if I draw out this trend line, something like this, this is an area that we have used before to bounce on and then jump up. So, we still have a load of imbalance up here to go for, but I mean, it's like we were saying previously in the start of the week, there is also all of this here that we could possibly use to hop into, in which case there's a few things that we could go into and actually have a look at. Let's go down into 30 minutes to see if we can find any more stuff that's going on. Again, we can see ourselves heavily rejecting off this line. We're heavily rejecting off this area here. But you can see in the 30 minutes that it doesn't look as strong. This line actually looks slightly stronger. This looks more like healthier price action. So I am going to delete that line, especially in the 30 minutes. We can see it create a new high, come down, retest this area, and then start to come up. Whereas through here, we've just broken all the way through. So even though we are definitely rejecting off some sort of line here, I mean, it's just as likely that something like this might even happen, where we could just put our stop loss roughly up here and then come down for this line. Something like that for a 2% would make a lot of sense. But again, I would really like there to be some sort of retest on this line. We don't even have that yet. Even if we go down to the 15 minutes, we can just see it crumbled through here. It's bouncing off a 15-minute pivot point standard line. We are going into accumulation. There's no new highs, there's no new lows. We are just messing around here. Literally on the EMA line right now, we have switched around from being bearish to bullish. And if we go back to that 30 minutes as well, we are now on that line. We are on this line here from a switch over to possibly be going up if we were just looking at that EMA alone, which could possibly happen. This could be a new high, this could be a new low, and then we continue to go off. But because there is just nothing here, for example, if I was to go for this high to this low, there's a 0.38 and a 5 there, but that's not even a good place to, I guess, how should I put this? We don't know that's going to be the low. So I might even get the fib retracement tool out, go from our low, go to our high, and go down here. And say, in fact, let me just redraw that out again. Here, here, here. Again, we're nowhere near where we need to be, because that's obviously the top right here. That's obviously the top. So we're nowhere near where we need to be. The fib retracement tool isn't going to help us out at all. We would need actually something to be coming up over here, back into this level, and that's what we'd be looking at. But unfortunately, that doesn't work for anything that we are currently looking at. So if we go to the 4 hours, maybe we can get a better picture of what's going on. Again, we've broken through highs. We have broken through this level in the 4 hour. In fact, we've closed beneath it. we have a bit of a rejection occurring here. But again, even looking at this area, there's no area that we're bouncing off. Even this candlestick here, this last low before this bigger push, there's nothing there. It makes sense that we're just going to continue to go down. So I don't know why we are bouncing off this level. If you wanted to be super safe, you could make a bigger stop loss and do something like that and hop in straight away. You could wait for it to come up to the line. You could still have something above here. That would be a little bit safe if you wanted to hop in, or maybe even something like this. Right, and hit that 1.89. Something like that. But that is a 175 stop loss there, which isn't the best. I'd love to look at something like this, but we know it really loves to wick through here. If it wants to do it, and it wants to come up, it might wick into this area, and then continue to fall through. So I would love to see something like this, or if not, something along these lines here. Alright, wick through. See it come down for a 1 to 3 and then a 1 to 2. Either of these is going to be pretty good, but again, we want this kind of structure up here because we can see that it looks like it's going to reverse. That's what was happening up here, right? We could see all these big ones, smaller bodies. We can see smaller bodies, bigger wicks. That looks like it does want to flip around and come back up into this area, and maybe it will even continue to carry on. Because all up here, as we know, is liquidity. It's imbalance. But now we're also so close to this area, it's kind of just making me think, well, what's happening? If we go back to that 4 hour, is this just the big push up like we have here? We've just come up and then we're going to continue to fall. We've taken out a bit of liquidity. If we get the fib retracement tool like this to the very bottom, push that out to the side. We've literally touched that 0.618 line perfectly. And we might just be going in for that downwards push before we continue to go up. Because what you can even see here, although this one just kept on climbing and climbing and climbing, over here we come up, touch the 0.5 line, go down. Touch the 0.5 line, go down. 0.38 line, go down. And now we're touching a 6.18. So if we're looking at how these guys have been going, they literally touch it and fall straight off. Touch it, fall straight off. So if we're just following that trend that we have been this whole time, these two trades make a lot of sense. We do see these wicks though, which really annoy me. What's best to do, guys, right now is just watch what's going to happen. Watch the kind of candlesticks that are getting printed out right now. Because we do have 1, 2, maybe even 3, but let's see what happens. If you want to be really risky and hop on down on this 30-minute one, and it doesn't even hop up there, I mean, I'd love it to. I'd absolutely love it to. This is an incredibly risky one, but you could even do something like this. And again, go for a 1 to 2, which would be right here. And then go for a 1 to 3, which would be a bit further down. Anyway, guys, that is it for today. Remember, Saturday, Sunday have a lot less volatility. But let's see what happens and see if we can end the week with a bang. Appreciate you guys tuning in and watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.